Imagine waking up one morning and realizing something is wrong. Not loud, not dramatic, just quiet. The street outside your home is empty. No carts, no voices, no footsteps. You step outside, and the air itself feels heavy, as if the world is holding its breath. In the middle of the 14th century, this silence spread faster than any army in history. It crossed borders without permission. It ignored walls, crowns, and prayers. It was invisible. It was unstoppable, and it would erase tens of millions of lives. This was the Black Death. But this story is not only about a disease, it's about fear, power, collapse, and the uncomfortable truth that civilization is far more fragile than we like to believe. If you want history told as a cinematic anime, immersive, factual, and ruthless, subscribe to Anime History. Because this story didn't just kill people, it killed the old world. Before the Black Death, Europe lived inside a rigid structure that had barely changed for centuries. Most people were peasants tied to the land. They didn't own it, they worked it. Power belonged to kings, nobles, and the church. Social mobility was rare. Life was difficult, but predictable. Then the early 1300s brought instability. The climate cooled, harvests failed, famines weakened entire populations. Cities grew crowded and filthy. Waste filled the streets. Rats thrived in the shadows. No one knew it yet, but Europe had already prepared the stage for disaster. The plague did not arrive in a strong world. It arrived in a world already cracked. The Black Death did not appear out of nowhere. It moved. Most evidence traces its origins to Central Asia, traveling west through the Silk Road, the same trade network that connected empires, cultures, and wealth. Merchants carried spices, silk, gold, and something else. By 1347, merchant ships reached the Mediterranean. When Genoese vessels docked in Sicily, many sailors were already dead. Others collapsed shortly after stepping ashore. The ships were ordered to leave, but death had already disembarked. From Italy, the plague spread with terrifying speed. France, Spain, England, the Holy Roman Empire, Scandinavia, entire regions collapsed within months. Historians still debate how this speed was possible. Was it only rats and fleas? Or did pneumonic plague, which spreads through the air, play a much larger role? The answer may be uncomfortable, because it means the disease was far more contagious than medieval people or modern audiences want to admit. To the people of the 14th century, the plague looked supernatural. Victims developed high fevers and uncontrollable vomiting. Painful swellings, called buboes, appeared on the neck, armpits, and groin. This was bubonic plague. Others suffered blood infections so severe they died within hours. This was septicemic plague, but the most feared form was pneumonic plague. It attacked the lungs, it spread through breath and coughing, and it could kill within 2 days. People sometimes went to sleep beside family members and woke up alone. Doctors had no cures, no knowledge of bacteria, no understanding of contagion. They guessed, and every wrong guess cost lives. When knowledge disappears, fear fills the void. Many believed the plague was divine punishment. Others blamed planetary alignments. Some believed poisoned air, miasma, was responsible. People carried flowers and perfumes, hoping pleasant smells could block disease. The iconic plague doctor mask was born from this belief. Its beak was filled with herbs. It looked scientific. It wasn't. It was fear wearing a uniform. As death accelerated, social bonds broke. Parents abandoned children, neighbors locked doors, priests refused last rites. And when fear had nowhere else to go, it turned violent. Minorities were accused of poisoning wells. Communities were massacred. The plague didn't just kill bodies, it exposed how quickly morality collapses under pressure. If this story is holding your attention, leave a like. It helps this channel survive in an algorithm that forgets history fast. And comment plague if you're still watching. I read every comment. One of the most controversial stories of the Black Death comes from the siege of Kaffa. According to one account, attackers hurled plague-infected corpses over city walls, an early form of biological warfare. Some historians accept this story. Others argue it was exaggerated or symbolic. But here's what matters. Medieval people already suspected that contact with the dead spread disease. They didn't know why, but they knew it was dangerous. Even legends revealed truths. The Black Death forced humanity to learn through terror. Out of panic came innovation. Port cities began forcing ships to wait before unloading. 30 days, then 40, 40 giorni, quarantine. It wasn't a cure, it wasn't medicine, but it slowed death. For the first time in history, society accepted isolation as survival. This is where the story truly changes. The Black Death killed between 30% and 60% of Europe's population. Fields were abandoned. Workshops stood silent. Labor became scarce, and scarcity creates power. Survivors demanded wages. Peasants refused feudal obligations. Landowners panicked. Laws were passed to freeze wages and failed. The plague accomplished what revolutions could not. It broke feudalism. Death rewrote economics. Art changed. The dance macabre appeared, skeletons dancing with the living. Paintings reminded everyone that death spared no one. Time became precious. Life felt fragile. Many historians believe this psychological shift helped ignite the Renaissance. When certainty died, curiosity was born. The Black Death feels distant, but fear, misinformation, blame, isolation, these patterns are timeless. Technology evolves. Human nature doesn't. The Black Death was not just a pandemic. It was a stress test, and civilization barely passed. If you want more stories like this, immersive, cinematic, and uncompromising, subscribe to Anime History. Because history isn't dead. It's waiting to happen again.